Now the second part is story of the universe, the Quranic insight. It's a bit long also. So what I propose, first I will take up the scientific information, Quranic information, natural laws and space, Sama and Samawat. Then that part we will recap so that our minds are not unnecessarily dead. Recap, then we start our Quranic information as far as the universe is concerned. Is the universe a product of light velocity barrier and space? This is the most fundamental aspect, the fundamental of about the universe. Scientific information, as all of us we know, velocity of light is constant. In this universe, no motion can cross this constant upwards. At light velocity constant, matter is convertible to energy. No matter can exist over this constant. Time slows down, that is dilates, closer to this constant. Scientists are silent at whether space can exist over this constant. I hope you recap it again, because when we go further, this will be on and on will be used. Velocity light is constant. In this motion, no motion can cross this constant. Velocity light, matter is convertible to energy convertible to matter. Time slows down, dilates. Scientists are silent about whether space can exist over this. Now let us have Quranic information. And we have made our view 7 tracks. We are never unmindful of our creation. By the sky with numerous parts. There are 2 very important things. The first part you see is we have made above you 7 tracks. That is first part. Allah is saying I created 7 tracks, but the other part, we are never unmindful of the creation. Clearly pointing that Allah Ta'ala has taken everything in his concern, because when the universe was small, the governance of the universe was much easier. When it started expanding, even the time communication or any kind of communication or travel was not possible. So Allah Ta'ala himself saying, we are never unmindful of creation, clearly defining that he has created those tracks through which all kinds of instant communication or other things travel can also take place. Now let us discuss how travel can take place and all that. By the sky with numerous paths. This is in 2 parts again decided that what we call it? Tracks are one part and various parts of the part. There are 2 differences. We'll later on tell us. Another very important, to Allah belongs the mystery of heavens, and the decision of the hour is as the twinkling of an eye, or even quicker. For Allah has power over all things. This is very important. That at the time of judgment, Allah's judgment, Allah Ta'ala himself is saying that trillions and trillions of nafs will be subject to questioning and they will be judged. And yet, it will be in a twinkling of an eye, or even quicker. Quite obviously telling that judgment, when judgment will take place, will be near the light velocity barrier. When time dilates, it becomes very, very low. Time becomes very small. In this connection, there are 2 very verses which in fact have created some kind of a complication among many people. They are due to hasten the punishment, but Allah said, verily a day in the light of thy Lord is like 1,000 years of your reckoning. The next one, the angels and the spirit ascend unto him in a day, the measure whereof is 50,000 years. At 1,000 years, which is equal to 1 day in Allah's time. For us it will be 1,000. In other case it is saying it will be 1 day, it will go to 50,000 years. That's what is the difference. The 50,000 years is a much longer distance. We go to the supreme command, much larger distance, which is perhaps connected by tracks. But this 1,000 years is within our own material universe. Space other ingredient is spade. Only one excellent crisp verse with power and skill did we construct the firmament Sama. For it is we who create the vastness of space. Clearly Allah Ta'ala points that space is all controlled by Him only. Please keep in mind, because this becomes very important later on. These two words, Sama and Samawat, in fact have been troubling quite a lot many people. And as I understand, the Quran in fact has not been understood correctly just because the Sama Samawat have not been understood correctly. Very difficult situations. Sama means single sky, Samawat means plural sky. Sabha Samawat means 7 skies. Now, coolly it was accepted when it came that Allah Ta'ala is on the first sky, fourth sky is a Mahfuz, where Quran is kept, and the 7th sky was where Ahsan was there, and Jibreel Islam, 4th to 7th sky used to come and deliver the Quran. When we started reading this, we find there is one Arsh Khalqalkum fil ardi jamia sumastawa fasahunna sab'a samawat. This is very, very important verse. It says, जब मैंने दुनिया को मुकम्मल कर, when I completed the world, then my attention went towards 7 skies. How is it possible? When the earth is completed and the sky will be created afterwards. That was very difficult to understand. It was not, just could not explain anyway. Then Yawma Nafis Samai Katasi Lili Kutubi Kama Batana Avlam Nuidu Vadan Alana Inna Kunna Fa'ilin. There's another verse. When I roll up the entire Samai, entire material universe, like a book completed, at that time, then I'll create another one. Then again 7 skies, how can they be rolled up? That became very difficult. I was in fact stuck for 2 years, and then I realized what to do and how to come to the conclusion to define this. The Shuklallah that came that only Quran will answer this. So I carried out statistical analysis about 300 verses of Quran, which count more than 300 Samawat. And I was surprised. There were only 2 verses for Samaya, and there were only 2 verses for Samawat, which refer to sky. No other verse refers to sky. It gives the information other than all that. So for the verse Samaya, and we have made the heavens Samaya as a canopy well guarded. Clearly means there is a canopy well guarded under which we are living. It is sky. Obviously it is sky. It is Allah who has made for you the earth as a resting place and the sky Sama as a canopy. These two confirm clearly. Sama means space. Space and all within it. All within it. And the Samawat, now Samawat, let's see very clearly. Allah is He who raised the heavens. Heavens means a big word Samawat. Without any pillars that you can see. The next one is He created the heavens Samawat without a pillars that you can see. How is it possible without a pillars, 7 Samawats? The moment I thought it could be a group of matters, in a large group of matter, Samawat which are hanging without pillars, matter became very simple. Everything became all right. Sama referring to sky, Sama referring to sky, all within it, and pointed to this Samawat Dunya, Samawat Earth. But Samawat, they are actually 7 groups of material bodies in our material universe. After taking this, let us recap the whole thing. Light velocity is the limit of motion in this universe. Matter is convertible to energy, and no matter can exist over this constant. These time slows down, directs closer to this constant. Allah created tracks and pathways possibly for instant travel and communication. Allah ordained laws to all created things He gave order, proportion, form, nature and guidance. Allah controls the space. Now let us come, here also we can define this. Sama is a sky, and within sky and all within. Also pointer like Samayodhinya. Samawat vast groups of matter, total 7 in number. They are all cosmoses. Tell them cosmoses. There are 7 group of matters, very large groups of matter in our material universe. Now let us say Quranically layout of material universe. But we are talking about material universe. We are not talking anything other than material universe, please. It is we who have created for you all things that are on earth. This I have already read. Who created the 7 heavens, one above the other. They are one above the other. No want of promotion will you see in the creation of Allah's most gracious. So turn thy vision again and see without any flaw. In fact, Allah Ta'ala is in fact challenging. Just have a look. You created 7 heavens, one above the other. We have made above you 7 tracks and we have never unpointed ourselves. Similarly, we have this. So we have 7 tracks, one above the other. We have 7 tracks for this 7 samavats, one at the other, 7 tracks and various pathways. Now this is the sum total. This is what in the universe is there, in our material universe. Now let us see Quranic outer limit of entire universe. Let us forget about this, about material universe, the entire universe which is yet to come. What is the outer limit of this universe? Near the low tree in the Sidratul Muntaha, near the low tree beyond which none may pass. This verse, Surah Najm 53:14, clearly tells there is a spot, and this happened when Muhammad went for Miraj. At that spot he was told that this is that there is a low tree, none can pass. Clear demarcation, after that nobody comes. And there is a hadith, Jibreel said that I also cannot cross, I also cannot go. Then further, next verse says, near is the garden of abode. That is Allah's garden, highest garden. You call it Jannah or anything, is near to it. Third one is where beyond the low tree was shrouded in mystery unspeakable. This is very interesting. The low tree was there on the border, but it is also saying it is shrouded in mystery unspeakable. That means what happened? There is something very mysterious. Mysterious low tree was the outermost border. It is a no matter tree in a no matter zone. Perhaps half tree was visible and half tree was not visible. That is why Allah Ta'ala calls it an unspeakable mystery. Now let us come outer limit of our material universe. There is one, keep outside, there is one our material universe. What is that limit? And now at the day of judgment, near Qiyamah, one day will be hypocrites, men and women, say to the believers, wait for us, let us borrow light from your light. It will be said, turn your back to your real and seek a light where you can. Next, well, wall will be put up betwixt them with a gate therein. Within it will be mercy throughout, and without it alongside will be wrath and punishment. Now here Allah Ta'ala is telling, I have already said that at the time of judgment, it will be twinkling in our eye that the motion, Jabal Musa of the universe will be near the speed light barrier. Speed light barrier time dilates. So therefore this wall will be put up between next layer. This in fact Allah is defining the light velocity barrier as a wall. As a wall, nothing can cross there. Only there is a gate. And that gate has the track, we have discussed that, the other end of the track which joins, and only entry will be through that. And possibly after the judgment, it is saying within it will be mercy throughout, and without it all along will be wrath and punishment. That means what happens, that when hell comes up, hell will be within, within our universe before it ends. And paradise will be on the other side. Other side, when anybody who crosses, that means crosses means that space exists on the other side. Whereas matter is here. When they cross to this gate, hell, paradise will be on the other side, hell will be remain on this side. I hope it is not very complicated. Right? Eh? To Allah belong the mystery of heavens, samawat and earth, and the decision of our revealing of that we already said. Allah's judgment will be near, with the light velocity barrier, where time will dilate, slow down, to extend trillions of us will be played tinkling in our mind, which we already discussed. And now let us see this light velocity barrier as per Quranic information. So a wall will be put up between them with a gate. This we already seen. Within it, over the barrier, will be mercy, paradise, with road, and within it, alongside, below the barrier, will be wrath outside. This provides information that matter extinguishes, but space continues to exist over this light velocity barrier. Space over this barrier allows non-matter structure, such as garden above, low tree, and paradise. Clearly, that is non-material, yet there are structures which may not remain inconceivable for us today, but fact is this, it exists. Now let us see the background, how the universe actually came into existence. Allah's created first enclosure. As Quran says, not very clearly, actually, it's not many places, there is a alam, which is called Mega Alam Amar, which not much description has been given. People normally they thought that that is the about Allah Ta'ala lives there and all that things. It appears from our analysis that Mega Alam Amar, there is some kind of entity without matter and without space. And obviously there is no time. That is ever existing. And in that Allah Ta'ala first, He created a space within a kind of enclosure was made, which created a space. That was the creation of the first enclosure. Then what happens after that enclosure? You see this on the Sidratul Muntaha inside, Alam Amar outside. Mega Alam Muntaha, we call this as a only space, no matter in this. Further deceleration of motion, because this is all above the light velocity barrier. Further deceleration of motion, automatically what happens, it crosses the light velocity barrier, and light velocity barrier crosses, and there light crosses the light velocity barrier. Then the moment it crosses light velocity barrier, entire matter and our material universe comes into existence. So we have this comes up. Sidratul Muntaha. Now this is Mega Alam Amar. Below that is Mega Alam Muntaha with the space, no matter. Below that, once you cross, the motion crosses below the light velocity barrier, we come to the matter, which is our Mega Alam universe. So there are clear three distinctions: Mega Alam universe, Mega Alam Muntaha, and Mega Alam Amar. The development of our universe started number of days. Number 1, 2, 3. Allah Ta'ala says that He created the universe in 6 days. First 4 days are not very clear in Quran, but 5th and 6th day, this is 5th and 6th day, very clearly points that 7 samavats, which are, you see this dark, these are 7 samars. They were created in 6 days. And during this time only, in 2 days time, our earth was also created. Because it's already mentioned, many verses they say the earth was created in 2 days and within 7 hours. Now this created, why they have been shown like this? Motion is taking place, everything is moving in the universe. Because in Alam Amar, Mega Alam Amar, it is over the light velocity barrier, and then below the light velocity barrier motion is continuously going on. With that motion, all this kind of a, like a, what you call, galaxy type structure will come from 7. They are one above the other, we said earlier. If you take in the front section, front view, it will have one above the other. They are there. And Earth also formed in 2 days. Now presently this is Allah's 11th day. Roll of roll of Sonai, all contents of the material universe will reduce it to a very small volume. After this we have 11th day, from 6 to 5 days have already passed, which I will show you later on. Deceleration, the motion was actually anti-clockwise, then it's slowly coming, and today we are now presently presume it will be and still. Because the galaxy, our Milky Way galaxies, the borehole, it takes nearly 2.5 billion years to move once. A ball-like structure, just imagine, taking 2.5 billion years in once, means it is almost zero. It means the motion is always zero. So motion is almost zero at the moment, but it will reverse. The direction will reverse. Inside the border direction will reverse. And with the reverse, you must this Michael's Delhi Kuduri Kawa Vadana Avalan, Noidu Vadavana Nakuna Fighting, Kaham that when I roll up the heavens like a scroll of paper as a book completed, this will happen. As the is becoming smaller and smaller, this kind of day on the 11th day will happen. And this is the last day for the Qiyamah. After that, once she comes up, the reversal portion comes and again reaches the motion near the light velocity barrier and crosses. Automatically the sky will go away and we go back to day one when it was created. With this one, during the first day like Meghalaya Amar, Meghalaya Muntaha. Now let us solve this. We get 3 mega alams. Mega alam universe, which is our universe. Mega alam Muntaha. Over this barrier, only space can exist without matter. It houses non-material structures like garden of a God and future paradise, and it's all content described by Quran. We can only conceive a virtual existence. We really cannot understand. We don't know what it is. We can only consider a virtual existence. It is band of motion over light velocity barrier. Now another is Mega Alami Amar, which is the outermost. That means what happens in the total, we have one ball, then another ball. We have in fact 2 balls within Mega Alami Amar. This is the structure of our universe. And that is why Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alameen means plural. These are the 3 mega alams to which Allah is the Rabb. Now summarize. Whole thing actually has been summarized. In fact, I'm very grateful to Almighty that this really has come up. This entire universe, history of universe can be described in 5 phases. Phase 1, creation of the first enclosure in Babi Meghalaya Amar, which you have seen. Phase 2, creation of material universe below light velocity barrier, in which 7 samawat and earth in 2 days during 5th and 6th day were completed. Phase 3, time provided for earth's life development. That was 4 Allah's days. Phase 4, coming of Adam al-Islam and Eve al-Islam and Qiyamah, closure of material universe. Where phase 5, final assessment and total closure of the entire universe. Now this question happened. Very interesting now. People say, about what is Allah's day? what is Allah's duration? It has been for the last more than 2000 years. Christians and Muslims, both of them are struggling to find out what last day is one, how much is there. They said Yom. Yom means Eon, very big. Some say 7,000 years, some say 8,000 years. That is so simple. There is a verse in Quran, Surah Fusilat, number 10, which clearly says, I gave 4 days to the earth for life development. We know today, age of the universe is 4.6 billion years. Just divided by 4, it comes 1.15 billion years. It's subject to, of course, it could change, but subject to the presumption that each day is equal to 1.15. Please see carefully. This is the sum total of this. So if that 1.15 billion years is each day, the phase 1, creation of the universe, enclosure, was for one day 1.15 billion. Phase 2, creation and development of the material universe, 6 days. Which clearly the Quran says he created the universe in 6 days. Phase 3, life development. Again, clearly verses are there to create it in 4 days. Phase 2, coming of Adam. That is 1 day. This is the present in which they are passing. Day of Qiyamah, this is the same day. Retreat and closure also will be taking place. After this day, it will be retreat and closure of the universe of the Tija. Now let us see. Total for material universe comes to 11 days. 11 days, that is multiplied by 1.15, 12.6 or 13 billion years. Scientists estimate the age of the material universe is 13.76 billion years. Difference of only 1 billion year. Quranic information and the scientific information, there is a difference of only 1 billion year. Total span, now entire total span of the whole universe will be about 15 billion years. This is another very important issue. Number, creation, the first phase 1 or phase 5. This phase 5 too will be over the light velocity barrier, not below. So Quran does not say any duration for these 2 periods. This is the greatness of Quran. Never says. Quran is restrict the greatness in only material universe. Finally, scientific understanding demonstrates the universe is infinite and unbounded. This is the general impression, this is infinite and unbounded. While Quranic information demonstrates the universe is finite and time-bound. Thank you all for time. Thank you very much.
So thank you all for your patience, and thank you, Dr. Rizvi, for this extremely elaborate explanation. And if left to you, we would have been sitting for 5 hours with the other subjects and topics that you have actually unearthed and compared between scientific discoveries and the Quran. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, please read the book. In case there are any questions, I'm sure Dr. Rizvi will be happy to take them.
Starting from the beginning and will remain so up to the end. It's a complete sequence and uninterrupted sequence.
Like life and death.
Life and death. Life and death. Therefore, as you said, Newton's law itself clearly says equal and opposite reaction takes place immediately. This is the balance of the material universe. In fact, my subject does not cover this. I'm taking the overall picture, overall picture of the universe.
Well, my question is, sir, thank you very much for elaborating your erudite scholarship on the Quranic sciences. The question arises out of your discourse. You have rightly pointed out that the scientific explanation of the universe, which is Big Bang theory, but the Quran points out that the verses in the Quran indicate that the universe, according to the Quran, is an uninterrupted sequence right from the origin until the end. But I find, throughout my study of the Quran, I find that the theory of Big Bang does exist in the Quran. The Quran clearly and categorically says, وَكَانَتَا رَتْقًا فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا कि ज़मीन और आसमान रतकन मिले हुए थे, फफतकनाहुमा, हमने उनको अलग अलग कर दिया. So this clearly points out that the Big Bang theory is in much synergy with the Quranic creationism theory.
Actually, thank you very much for this question. Simple reason, many of the people earlier, they have said this, and this is due to happening because we are influenced so much by the contemporary knowledge. We don't have any other knowledge, contemporary knowledge. We try to fit in all the information in the Quranic for explanation of Quran. Whether it is Vedas or whether it is Bible or whether it is Quran, everybody tries that. But that is awwalam, the word what you have said, that verse starts with awwalam. And fataqan, that is used, that is in fact for the creation of the earth, not awwalam they have taken as a consider origin of the universe, not. It is actually the material universe part in which the earth was created by the smoke, which was smoke, and then by breaking, splitting, exploding, that earth came up. That actually is the earth. Not Big Bang does not come in our Quranic study. Thank you. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Amreen Khan, and compliments to you to making it so simple that everybody who's not even heard about all of these things has understood. But my question was slightly different than the main subject, which was that if Quran is so simple, why is it being misunderstood in all over the world and misinterpreted?
A very good question here, Iska. Very strange that the number of God's books in this universe, in this our world, Vedas, Bible, Torah, Quran, everybody says that we have God's direct book from one God. Then how come are they so different? Why are they so different? There were two reasons. Firstly, we could not explain what our scriptures said. Number two, then whenever we explain, our personal interest and political interest came in between. With the result, we are in such a mess. All of us, frankly speaking, it's not only for Quran or anything, but all of us in such a mess that we have lost the total thread of all the what the scriptures have said. I hope this does it cover the answer or anything left?
Okay, we'll take the next question. Thank you, Amreen. Any other questions?
And for explaining these difficult concepts in such a simple manner. And I'm sure that your book would be read by all of us and would be circulated in all the libraries and people will gain. Now, my question was very simple. One is, in Quran, is there any concept of space and time? And the other point is that you said that universe is not finite and time bound. If it is not finite and time bound, whether it indicates that it is cyclical in nature, and how do one explain this nature of cyclical nature of existence?
Yeah, two, three things to about it.
Yeah.
First one was, what was the first one?
First one was the concept of space and time.
Space and time. You have seen my demonstrations.
That's right.
Everything in this entire universe has come up. Basic is light velocity barrier.
Right.
And space. There are two things. Now, basic light is Alam Ramar, which I have shown in the diagram. There is no time, there is no space, there is no matter. It is beyond that. And Alam Muntaha has come down, decelerating, space comes in. These scientists are here to confirm that beyond the light velocity barrier, space can exist. They're there. And also, the moment you come down, I have already said, in the number one day, there was no duration, and Quran does not give any duration. That means time is non-existent. Time starts with the matter. When it gets decelerated and comes below the light velocity barrier, the moment matter comes, time starts with that. That is a time-space concept. Now, what was that question?
The other one was if the universe is not finite and time bound, does it indicate that there is cyclical nature of existence?
That's what actually very interesting in the sense. First, when the Big Bang came, Big Bang, I think as Amreen has said, Big Bang came. Then they said, it started all right by explosion. It will continue to expand to the level that at a stage will come when it will crunch and come back to again form a small atom as originally it was. And that when originally it was, it will again explode. Then again go back to the whole thing, then again come back. That means universe is cyclic in nature. It's a cyclic in nature. Now here, I what the that when I roll up the heavens like a scroll of book, fully completed, see the words, Quranic orders, fully completed, I assure you I will create a new one. That new one, as we find, none of the Allah's creations are identical. They are all similar in their classes, but never identical. So what happens, once it is rounded up, and this material universe ends, crossing over the light velocity barrier, there is no question of any cyclic. I hope I've solved the question.
Thank you. Amrit, another one. Yeah.
Dr. Saab, I have one question. Now you have described the beginning of the human race. The modern science says that we started with the Homo sapiens, and they started from Africa, and they migrated to all over the world from there. So, do you say that Adam and Eve, their origin was in Africa, not in somewhere in the subcontinent? Thank you.
Quranic information as a scientific information, where they are dropping graphs and all that, is not that. Allah Ta'ala clearly says, what I have created, I have given you past, present and future, I have given you all in the Quran. And how I have created, it is left for us to find out and decipher. Adam al-Islam is the information which gives, and that is a fact also, it's an absolute fact which gives here. Now where they came, where they move around and all that, this is for us to find out. This is our scientific investigation we are carrying out. It's not that from that. Quran says that they came and this is the last day, Qiyamah will can end. Now in between what is there, it is our knowledge and human knowledge, we try to find it out. Anything?
Okay. Amrit, do you have another question?
तो ये हुआ कि हम लोग शायद 12वें दिन में हैं, और जब से मैंने समझना शुरू करा 3 या 4 बरस से, all the time with everything there was one thing कि वो क़यामत आने वाली है. तो क़यामत क्या सचमुच आने वाली है, कितनी दूर है?
That already said, this is the last day, because one day we are not counting the earlier day. I have given the chart, and this is it is there. It is the 11th day. On the 11th day, the start of this will last 1.15 billion years. And so far, it started with coming of Adam and Eve. We think Adam came about 25,000-30,000 years ago. And then in that case, we are pretty good. Quite a lot of time is available. But somehow, it is not that will be the end. At least it will start much earlier, slowly, like earthquakes, volcanoes, all kinds of things will start, but slowly. In case we will not see all that. Our 3-4 generations perhaps will not see all that.
Does that satisfy you?
In fact, it will be better if we can have a separate sitting. For this whole, it will be about an hour sitting. This is a very important matter, and very difficult things are involved. Religious people think one way, scientist people think the other way around. Therefore, it will be better at this moment we postpone it. For this moment, we didn't know, because one thing only I know as per Quran, it happens, evolution is a basis for everything.
Yes, sure.
Unless you evolve, you remain static. You have to evolve. Whole thing has evolved. Now, whether that is applicable to human beings or not, That is the question where the problem arises.
But sir, I think it has very clear.
No, it's very clear too, I agree. You know very well, you have already said in this, so not starting here, because it will become unnecessary controversial unless the whole thing properly portrayed.
It has been very clearly mentioned that when human beings took up to the earth, lot of changes were brought about, and many new species were evolved, so that human beings can carry on with their feeding and all those things. So changes were made. It's very clear. In Quran, it's very clear that changes were made.
No, evolution. See, we, as per Darwinian concept, you know very well about the authority on this. As per Darwinian concept, the conditions bring out the mutations, and that mutations bring out the change of the societies. That is there. Here, there is a verse, Fusilet, 41:9, verse 9, clearly says, Allah Ta'ala provides conditions for the life to develop and for all the necessities for the life required, that Allah Ta'ala does it. Evolution is an important thing, but it is all Allah's control. Allah provides this, not that scientists and Darwinian concept is saying that. Human beings also are the part of it, but that is all Allah's control, Allah's sequence has coming in this.
Thank you. There are some more questions. Can we please move on because we have a time limit as well. Safi,
आपने बताया कि आदम अलैहिस्सलाम और हव्वा अलैहिस्सलाम के बारे में कुछ इसमें डिटेल्स आपने मतलब देखी हैं कि कुरान में और साइंस में। तो साइंस में स्कूलों में जो हम लोग ने पढ़ा था वो कहा था कि एडम और ईव एक साथ थे और एक साथ एडम और ईव थे, उसके बाद पूरी मतलब होमो सेपियंस डेवलप हुए। लेकिन हमने साइंस में पढ़ा है कि अभी रिसेंटली कि ईव के बारे में ये था कि she did not come at the same time as Adam. She came many years before Adam. तो इसके बारे में कुरान का कोई पॉइंट है या आपकी किताब में ऐसा कुछ है?
Hello, हाँ. Full description. Passing reference I'll give. Genome analysis is a very strong tool in the hands of scientists now. By genome analysis, they have carried out a lot of extensive work. And from the genome analysis itself, what Safi has said, they say that these two, our parents, grandparents, were not together at all for thousands of years. That's it. But on the other hand, they say that all the females are very superior in the sense that DNAs of all the females from mother to mother to mother take, it goes and joins to one single mitochondrial Eve. They call Eve matrilineal female, they can say that. That is also another side, but all the fathers do not have a linkage like this to merge into Adam. Very strange. It is very strange. Based on this they have said, these people, scientists have created, that they are not together, they were far away. But when they have the genome analysis done, that to one female they carry out. How is it possible they never met? They carried out and they let them find out. I already recommended, you please make a mistake, you try to find out correctly. It's not possible. It is there. Anything else?
May I just add here, because this topic is coming up again and again. Mr. Sirajuddin Qureshi very kindly offered the use of the India Islamic Cultural Center for any further debates and discussions on your book. So let us take him up on this and let us hold another session at a later point of time to have this very specific discussion. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, may I request Captain... Oh, you want
I hope I have been able to explain properly, which many non-scientific people are also aware, would have understood or not, I don't know.
Very wonderful. You explained it wonderfully.
Thank you.
Thank you. But this is still not the end. We want to request Captain Farhat Naseem Siddiqui for the vote of thanks. He is director of Bahar International Company in Jeddah. He is a sailor by profession. He has a keen interest in understanding the Quran. He has provided constant encouragement to Dr. Rizvi over the years, and he is one of those who motivated him to pen his writings, including in bringing this book to fruition. Captain Farag Siddiqui, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sumbul. As she said, I'm a sailor by profession. I have been working in Saudi Arabia for the last 30 years. Dr. Rizvi I'm related to him, we are relatives. I have learned to admire him for his various qualities. And the good thing about him is that he can get into discussion and conversation with anybody, whether it is a child, whether it is an elder one, whether educated or uneducated. He has a very affable nature, and so that is why at all levels I have been interacting with him, and I just love to sit with him and talk. Whenever I get the opportunity, whenever I'm in India, I would make it a point to meet him and have a discussion. So now, with regard to this book, I've been associated with him for the last 3 years when this book was under the final stages, and I have had the opportunity to read some of the scripts that he has been writing, and especially chapter 8 of the book, the script that he had, and he gave it to me. I mean, he was nice enough to share it with me, though it was supposed to be confidential. And so in fact, I was very fascinated because some of the subjects that were of my interest, like physics, I used to love it in school. I was not able to continue it because it was not in my, I chose a different profession. But like the theory of relativity and other things. So this is how I got associated with him, and I'm very impressed with what he has written. My piece of advice is don't get scared by the volume of the book when you see the book, okay? Please. And also don't get scared when you see the Arabic script and the translations. Don't get involved into this. We, as per our ability, see what we have to see. Just read the text of it, and believe me, it is very simple and very, very easy. You can understand it at every level. Every level person, whether you are a science student or a student, you read that and then you will get the things. Now, one thing was very important, that why he has put the script into it, because it is for the ulamas. When an ulama reads that ayah of the Quran, he knows what he's talking about. So there is no question of, when they put a question, he just say, you just read this ayah. Likewise, the translation in English, it is there. So that is the way one could read it, and that is what will create an interest. And it is certainly very revolutionary. I think this is the beginning of the era of Islamic thinking, new Islamic thinking. Because there are certain questions in the past, like which, a lot of people, Muslims and non-Muslims, they don't sort of say that, they say that this is something. But in the light of this book, I think we as Muslims, or even the non-Muslims, you can explain to them. This is going to be a very good reference book for the future. So this is something which is unique. I have seen the amount of efforts that he has gone through it, line by line, and there's a lot of research involved into it. It's a masterpiece. So that is the way one can look at it. Now, I would like to thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for sparing the time to be here and be present. And as I can see, so attentively you have been through the proceedings, and thank you very much. She has been